Hi, this is Ace Guillen, and you're watching Cover Stories. His Prince impression is so good, the IRS says they believe the applause breaks to his punchlines are undervalued by 50%. He's actor and comedian Willis Turner. She's done so many horror films that she can't help it when she's killing on stage. She's actress and comedian Rebekah Kochan. We literally have nothing to say about her, so today her intro is an intro about nothing. She's my lovely co-host and comedian, Melissa Greenberg. Watch out, Xbox, PlayStation, and Nintendo, because soon you'll be able to play Call of Duty with the American military icon, Colonel Sanders. That's right, KFC just announced over the holiday season that they're joining the video game console wars with the KF console. It features impressive PC-type specs, such as 4K at 240 frames per second, a 1 terabyte solid-state drive, and it's VR ready. But its most impressive feature is that it has a built-in food warmer designed to heat your chicken. This announcement came after the release of the PS5, Xbox One X, and we have reactions from folks whose parents were able to get their hands on those consoles prematurely. Let's take a look at the video clip here.
Mama's wrong again.
No, Colonel Sanders, you're wrong. Mama's right.
All wrong. Mama's right. Mama's right. There's something wrong with his medulla oblongata.
It's okay to fight back. Coach Klein said I could. Mr. Coach Klein said I could. It's fine.
It's okay, Coach Klein said I could. Okay, so yes, let's bring up the graphics here. Finger clicking, good. So, let's see. Willis, this is coming from a company who also invented something called the fire log, which if you burn it, it's an actual firewood that if you burn it, it smells like fried chicken. So I kind of considered like making fire logs after I tried their spicy chicken sandwich. How do you feel about KFC entering the video game world? I just wanted to say that.
Well, I'm just glad that they're stealing from a white guy instead of another black person. Why? I just don't get why KFC needed to enter like the PlayStation space. Like, what has COVID shut you down that much that you're
Right.
like? Because KFC is takeout anyways. Like, who stays and eats at KFC?
Right.
Nobody. Like the worst. Like they should have actually just. You know what they should have done? They should have said, "Okay." I love that it heats chicken, though. I love that it heats chicken. So I'll fry my own chicken and use the console to heat it, keep it warm.
You know, it's funny. My PlayStation 4, I have the 5 now, but the 4 is like a little space heater, man. That thing blows out so much hot air in the back. I'm like, I keep it like far away from the wall because I'm afraid it's gonna set my wall on fire. But I'm like, dang, dude, if this thing is anything like the PS4, I think the PS4 was already a food warmer. So Rebekah, I don't know if you're a gamer, if you know much about these specs or anything, but I would imagine that, huh?
I am. I do love some PUBG. I will tell you that.
Okay.
But however, I do think this is the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my entire life, right?
Yeah.
It's the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Talk about unnecessary things we need in the universe. Right. I don't even believe, like, is this real? I don't even believe it is. I feel like it's more of a marketing scheme.
Yeah. So I looked at it. the story popped up in July or August. It was over the summer. And then people thought it was a joke. And in December, after the consoles were already released, they confirmed, no, it was real. And then when they released the specs chart, it was weird because it was a legit specs chart that you would see on like PC gaming and stuff. And I was like thinking, what the hell? So I don't know. I kind of have a feeling like, what if they come out with a handheld that warms their popcorn chicken or chicken fingers, something cheesy. I don't know. Melissa, I know you have to have some kind of cheesy joke about this.
Well, you know, like you ever look at your toaster, like funny, like what else could you put in there?
A fork. Yeah.
You know, like hacks, and like you'll see people eating pizza because they've turned it on its side.
Right.
These are people been in the house too long, and you know, a bunch of nerds going like, you know, what would be a good idea? I don't even have to get up. I could just heat my chicken right on. I mean, it can't be good for the console, and I don't care what they say, unless there's a drawer in it.
Right.
But I don't think that any of that coming back, like you don't want moisture near your console. So I can't imagine why you'd want chicken. But this is like when they were making coffee makers for the car, and like there's just some things that just, I mean, I'm glad they tried actually.
Well, they made the toilet. They made the toilet seat for the car seat when you're stuck in traffic.
What?
Yeah. Well, not KFC, but I'm saying like one of the inventions that came out a while back was an actual toilet seat that you stick in your front seat of your car. And if you got to go and you're stuck in traffic, you just go. And yeah, so all these inventions.
Can you buy this? Because I need it.
This is, it was, I hate to say this, it was big in Japan. It's such a cliche, but it really was a thing out there. Yeah.
Japan has been making some weird stuff this year. Uh-oh.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm curious though where you could buy, like, can you buy this at a KFC? Can you order this in the drive-thru and like for your sides you get 2 free controllers or something like stupid?
Yeah. 2 free controllers and 1 sensation.
Can I get Call of Duty and some gravy? Yeah. Can I get 2 ranch dressings? And they're like, no, you only get 1, 25 cents for the next one. You're like, come on, man, I just bought a console, dude.
Yeah, and then you have to grab the game with your hands all sticky like that.
Right. Your greasy hands, and then like gross crumbs are going to sit in there and get moldy. Like nothing about it could ever possibly work.
Dude, okay, so...
Or guess what? Each time you get to the next level, you see a commercial of KFC coming by.
Oh, you know that.
Why am I saying KFC commercials?
That would be so funny. It just in the middle of a game, it just cuts to commercial.
I'm gonna buy
Call of Duty. You like, bah, bah, bah. You just shot somebody. You know what else you could do with that roadkill? Deep fry it. Like.
It's like every main character in every game you play is the special guest Colonel Sanders, like promoting something.
Right.
Well, like, who hasn't wanted to buy on late night TV that combination coffee maker? You make the eggs on the top, and you put the toast, the English muffin or the toast in the little oven part. You've never seen those things?
No.
Yeah, okay, what are you guys watching? You found a toilet. Now you find a coffee.
Right? I've never seen any of these things.
I'm sitting there like, what do you guys look at? Like, you guys have a special cable that I don't know.
What cable are you watching it for?
Melissa, I swear to you, I know exactly what you're talking about. Right. So you and I are on the same page.
But it's long. So on top of the coffee maker are 2 little burners.
Yes.
You cook the little eggs in there in little cups.
I seriously contemplated buying that.
You toast the bread in the oven.
Right.
It's about this big.
Huh.
I'm sure you can find it in a thrift store. And this is for like single dudes, I'm sure, who are sitting around going,
and ladies with a lot of cats.
Right, for sure.
Right. Probably. Like when you don't want to do dishes, or you want that, like, I don't know who thought that would be a good idea. But somebody, like enough people bought them. They kept making them. They're out there.
How lazy are people at the point that they just say, you know what?
Or the toaster that makes hot dogs?
They're at the KFC console level of lazy. That's the answer.
I'm buying one.
I'm still on the special guest Colonel Sanders. I can imagine Super Mario just like, it's me, Colonel Sanders. Make sure you buy a $20 fill-up for your family.
Yeah, put the fried chicken in your lasagna.
You know what I did buy?
What? I got it is.
It's a fabric. It's a bag. It's a little bag that you put in the microwave, and you put 3 or 4 potatoes in there, and you can cook potatoes in about 5 minutes in this little microwave bag.
I've seen those.
Yes. Baked potatoes or like mashed potatoes? What are we making here?
You bake
baked potatoes. Yeah.
And you put like 2 or 3 in there. You don't want to go crazy, but
you don't want to start a restaurant.
Yeah.
You know what though, Melissa? I've seen that burner. I know what you're talking about. I've seriously contemplated in the past buying that stupid thing.
Like for people with apartments that don't have kitchens or counter space, or
you know what it is? It's for people who just go, "Ooh, that's different," and you just want to buy dumbass shit because that's.
You know what else you guys can do? Open up your window and just toss your money out the window.
Right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Every year. Someone comes out with an egg poacher, and I'm like, why? So you can wash 8 little cups of egg crap out of a pan that you also have to wash, you know?
Right. That
I don't know that.
Oh, we really should just do a show on the dumbest inventions or the inventions just that didn't work out or surprisingly took off. Yeah, like
or just infomercials, like shitty shit that people never buy, but yet they still do buy on late night cable shows.
Yeah, or they do successful even though nobody ever uses. I'm trying to think of one. I know there was a couple recently that I went, how is that still in business? But it's not like, for example, like the George Foreman
chia plant.
Oh, the chia
plate.
The chia plant. Yeah. They still have those, and they always come out with like really weird, absurd ones where it's like you
Bob
look
Ross.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
but yeah, and there's
who
still
wouldn't want a Bob Ross in their house?
Right. Trees, the happy accidents.
And yet they don't. And you know it's weird. They don't have a chia pet that's like a like an actual plant. Like, wouldn't you make like a tree stump and then have like a little tree grow out of it? It would make sense. But they're like, no, it has to be an inanimate object that's other than a tree.
That's like sheep.
Yeah, exactly.
Chia,
they had the Barack Obama one. I remember they had that one where it was just.
They did?
Yes, they had one where it was like a fro of Obama.
Yes. Yeah. They used to have that at Rite Aid. Every time I'd go in for ice cream, I would see that stupid thing on the shelf.
Yep.
Oh God.
Okay.
Sometimes you just wonder how far will they go.
And you know what? Okay, here's how far we'll go. Once we land on Mars, we'll start all over, and then once we're making chia pet presidential busts, we'll go. Now we need to go to Jupiter, and then we'll do that shit all over again.
You know what? You know what's so funny? There are people in other countries going, I just want clean water.
I know, right?
Right.
I don't care about the chia. Just clean water.
Right. And we're like, we have this thing that can make eggs and coffee together. Yeah,
Right.
I know.
Or there's a toaster.
I'm hungry.
There's a toaster that you toast the buns and put the hot dogs standing up.
How dare you?
I'll eat the hot dog cold. I don't care.
How dare you?
Yeah. So, okay. That's what I feel about it. Okay. It's like that picture where they show the starving people in, I don't know if you guys have ever seen that meme where they show the starving people in some foreign country and they're like, all the still photos where they're handing them like little bags of rice. Somebody like photoshopped all the likes from Facebook on it and said that they finally received all the likes that you sent. Dude, I was like, that's pretty much where we are as a society. It's like, yeah, I'm not going to do anything about it, but I'll click like. Yes. Now we're going to move on to some global news. We have world news from around the globe. It's Espresso News with Melissa Greenberg.
Well, it's funny that around the world, the news is just as bad as it is here. Ace and I are we're like parallel thought today. McDonald's is selling a Spam burger topped with Oreo cookie crumbs in China. The bizarre sandwich is made of 2 slices of Spam, Oreo cookies, and is topped with mayonnaise.
Spam.
That came out last month in China in this attention-grabbing move that raised eyebrows. Almost did more than that, you know. So somebody commented, "I thought it was delicious." Is that because I love McDonald's too deeply, or is something wrong with my taste? This is one of the enthusiasts of this sandwich. And it's part of a series of members-only promotions released on Mondays in China. So they pretty much hate those members, I think. There's no need to release unnecessary products, said a comment left on the company's microblog account, and it received more than 2,000 likes. McDonald's said it planned to sell more than 400,000 of the lunch meat burgers, and it wasn't clear how many have sold or how many people who flooded social media with scathing comments had eaten one. When you hate someone but have to invite him to dinner, you can ask him to eat McDonald's Oreo lunch meat burger, said a separate comment. What do you think?
I'll have the wait. What is what's the old Monty Python sketch? The spam. Well, we have chicken McSpam. We have spam McMuffins. We have
I can't
the
imagine.
spam McRib. Spam Big Mac spam.
So what do you think? Is this a delicacy?
Hey man, when you grew up in my neighborhood, spam was a pretty fucking delicacy dish there. Everybody hates spam, but you find a way to make it work. That was the problem.
When you were saying that, all I heard was, we have horse shit sprinkled with sugar, mixed in with dog shit. Who wants some?
Did you say there are Oreos also involved with this?
Yes. That's really what finishes a sandwich off, because a Spam burger wouldn't be so bad.
Mayonnaise.
And a Spam burger with mayonnaise, while I wouldn't like that, I know people would eat it. But it's a Spam burger with 2 slices of Spam, Oreo cookie crumbs, and mayonnaise.
Yeah, the Oreos is what makes it is a big question mark for me. Like, why do Oreos have to be involved in this at all?
Salty and savory.
Probably because of their McFlurries that they have in stock. They're pretty. You have to understand. Yeah, you have to understand. Like, these places, they have all the shit that they have in the back, and now that they're adding spam, they go, okay, well, how do we mix this shit with that shit and give them some spam, McSpam shit? You know what I mean? Like that
is some mixed spam shit.
Right. They're like, how do we get rid of all these 2020 Oreos? You know what we're going to do?
Right.
Put it on spam.
That's just like,
I hate spam.
It's a special members only promotion. Like, only the sexy people get this.
Yeah.
I hate to see what they give the regular people.
Spam. I'm McLoving it. Yeah.
You know what they give the regular people? They go, you get spam. No Oreos.
Mayonnaise.
I want Oreos on mine, sir. No.
Please, sir, may I have some Oreos?
No.
No spam for you.
You will take your spam and be off with you.
It's just bad. Okay.
I have an issue with spam. My dad used to make me eat a lot of spam. My dad loved spam because he was in the military, and spam made him
like spam.
think about.
Okay.
Yeah. And I was like, anything that comes out of a can and it looks worse. Like, you're like, okay. And it's just
you flip it over and it slides
the way it comes
out.
out and it looks it looks like a horror film.
Yeah.
Like, it just looks like
Right. Like, what is that?
Right. Like meat in a can? No. I'm sorry.
And truly, what is that? You
Right.
know what I mean?
It's a collection of meats. It's a collection of meats.
The am part is the ham. But what's the sp part of spam?
Right. Spooge.
I know Hawaiians like it. Like
yes. Look, put it this way. And I ate. I don't know. I used to eat chitlins. I don't know if you guys know what chitlins are.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what chitlins are?
Right?
No, not the butthole. Close. It's the intestines of a pig.
Yeah.
And I ate those and still didn't like spam. That should let you know something right there. I don't eat pork anymore. I don't eat pork. So I definitely can't.
We get in the gross bits. Bacon is really good, Willis.
Pork
I'm Jewish.
I don't eat pork. Bacon.
I don't eat bacon. I can't. I haven't had pork in about 20 years, I think.
Rat could taste like pumpkin pie. Doesn't mean I'm going to eat them.
Yeah. No, you're better than us, is what you're saying.
Right.
No,
for sure.
No, I'm not. I actually am not.
We get it. You're superior.
Right. Well, you know what's so funny? People always go, "Are you Muslim?" I'm like, "No, I'm Jewish."
No, because you said that when people say that, they like when you tell them what you don't eat, and they go, "Are you Jewish?" I always think that's weird when people associate a food with, like, for example, I don't eat a lot of Mexican food, and people will be like, "Oh, come on, I thought you were Mexican. How come you don't eat this? How come you don't like burritos? How come you don't like taco?" And I'm like, "Cause I don't like the motherfucker, man. Like, I like pizza. Like, what's wrong with?" It's like I discovered fucking cheeseburgers, man. Why do I gotta like tacos just because I'm Mexican? It doesn't make any sense. Yeah.
Huh?
Melissa, Rebekah, you guys from the East Coast?
My parents are from the East Coast, I went to New York all the time, my whole life. But yeah, New York pizza is definitely better always than our pizza, no matter where you get it.
Yeah. I spent about 25 years there. I was about to make a Hilaria Baldwin reference about just going to New York a few times and coming back with an accent. Hey, no way, I flew over New York.
You're in a tracksuit everywhere you go.
Get about it.
Right, for sure. Man, what a shit show that was, right? What a whack job.
It's outstanding. We keep following it. It's going to be the gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. Yeah.
No. So we've decided we're good with the spam burger.
Yeah.
We're
good with never doing it, trying it.
Yeah, that's the good part is that it won't come to America.
You go to China and you're like, oh, like they say, oh, in some countries that's a delicacy. This is like, oh, in no countries this is a delicacy.
Right.
Well, it's like
for sure.
What is it like? France or Spain, where the McDonald's, like the Big Macs, are made out of like deer meat or something like that. It's a completely different animal.
Really?
Yeah, I forget which country it is, but it's in Europe. But they use deer meat instead of cow, and so, like, if you
India,
if you go there, well, probably
they have a vegetarian thing there, I think.
Yeah, and in the Middle East, their McDonald's menu is completely different there too. It's so weird. Yeah, they have like falafels and stuff at McDonald's.
I love falafel, but it smells like armpits.
That'll get me to never eat it.
Does it smell falafel?
Yep.
How dare you?
Wrong one.
Okay, moving on.
Okay.
Who's that saying? How dare you? Who is that?
Oh, Greta Thunberg. Greta Thunberg.
Oh, okay.
How dare you?
Yeah.
Okay. This one, Denmark launches children's TV show about a man with a giant penis.
What?
Well,
no.
Yeah, this one came out today. I had a whole nother thing planned, and I'm like, whoa, no, what's this?
That's great because it's nothing like giving the girls something to dream for, and the kids that have issues, the boys.
John Dillermand has an extraordinary penis. So extraordinary, in fact, that it can perform rescue operations, etch murals, hoist a flag, even steal ice cream from children. The Danish equivalent of the BBC, DR, has a new animated series aimed at 4 to 8-year-olds about John Dillermand, the man with the world's longest penis, who overcomes hardships and challenges with his record-breaking genitals. Unsurprisingly, The series has provoked debate about what good children's television should and should not contain. Yeah. So, okay, here's a picture. There
No, this is not even real.
No, it's real.
Is he casting a shadow?
Oh my goodness.
No,
Wait.
it's this
okay.
stock.
Wow.
It's like lighting the barbecue.
Wow.
So, wait, but does he creepily have? Can you zoom in a little bit more to his face? Does he creepily have like a human face on a cartoon body?
Yeah, like one of those 1920s guys, you know.
Yeah, Hey,
and this is a children's book.
He looks like Theodore Roosevelt, if I'm not mistaken, and from what I can see.
Why is he squatting like that?
Well, because he's got a big wiener and he's got to walk around with that.
Putting out a fire.
Yeah. Oh, no, he's lighting the barbecue.
Is that
lighting the barbecue?
Is that my old roommate? I love it when he answers fan mail, he just looks at the camera and goes, "We just got a boner. We just got a boner. We just got a boner. I wonder who it's from." No one watched Blue's Clues. Okay, it's just me.
I didn't watch. My daughter didn't watch Blue's Clues. Sorry.
Needless to say, there's a lot of controversy, and they just started this summer the Me Too movement over there. So, some people are
coming this summer. Yeah.
It's perpetuating the standard idea of a patriarchal society and normalized locker room culture. Like, if we think it's funny, it's harmless, but it's not. We're teaching this to our kids. And then the people that have made the show say, look, this show depicts a man who is impulsive and not always in control, who makes mistakes like kids do, but he always makes it right. So he takes responsibility for his action. When a woman
does it with his penis.
What the hell?
When a woman in the show tells him he should keep his penis in his pants, for instance, he listens, which is nice. He's accountable.
Wow.
Well, until it falls out. Did you see the size of that thing? It's just like thump.
Yeah.
And they're trying to say this is about this show about bodies might have considered depicting difference and diversity beyond an oversized diller, which is Danish slang for penis. It literally means penis man, this show, Dillermond. But it's not a show about sex. So the people that have made it say, they're defending it. And of course the people
now in turn, are they going to counter that show with like a girl's vagina?
Well, that was what they were saying. They're like, you don't see, how would you feel if we had a show pushing a boundary about like a woman and her really huge vagina? And
they already made that though.
Some giant lips come up and go,
feed me, Seymour. Yeah.
But the Danish, they have a different attitude, and they had a show. I was researching this. They had a show not too long ago, basically called Ultra Strips Down, and it's for 11 to 13-year-olds. They have a panel of adults of all shapes and sizes in robes, and they get all kinds of consent and everything, but the kids basically, the adults take their robes off, and it's to show real bodies. And the kids ask questions. Yeah, it's a little ooky for us. But in watching the explanation, I was like, the kids had lots of questions and, talking about hair and stuff and, or having extra fat in places like that. It was body positive instead of kind of the airbrushed bodies that we see everywhere. It was an interesting concept, and this is the thing.
The kids will see that when they get older anyways, and they'll just go, You know what? Hey, I'll just accept, like women have to accept, yeah, my guy isn't have the body I wanted, or he's not as hung as I'm used to.
I want a divorce. Yeah.
Right. Since you're just divorced.
Don't want no short. Don't want no short, man.
Or some guy be like, oh, I hate she has cellulite. I like, this one doesn't have dimples in her ass like I like.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, you're right. I know there's a lot of guys that I know personally that are pretty superficial about stuff. And you're just like, that's the reason you guys broke up. Like, that's crazy.
Wow.
But it's weird. This little penis man out there, because we had a similar cartoon here, Captain Underpants, that was a little bit questionable. No, but that's what I'm saying. When it first came out,
No, it was not the same at all.
no, right. No, but I'm saying that it was a little bit questionable in the beginning because people went, well, why is this man not wearing or why is he only in his underwear to fight crime? But then it was just almost like when you saw it, you go, oh, okay, well, it's innocent. He's not,
Right.
you know, it's just the
that's
silliness
very
of,
different.
right. That's what I'm saying. But it's like we have these things, and this kind of goes back to different cultural things where it's like another country right now has fucking spam Big Macs or whatever. You know what I mean? Like a McDonald's is making spam and everyone's cool with it over there. But then it's just like, you know, we're here tripping out on this shit. And
This caused some controversy, but they do things like they have nudist beaches and they're a little more relaxed about.
They are. In
Right.
Europe, our bodies are not as sexualized as they are here,
Right.
for sure.
Yeah.
Like there's
That's
a
why
huge
this guy
difference.
Greenberg, that's why this was actually like allowed to happen. And it's, I mean,
Right.
I kind of want to see one now.
I had
You
a,
want to see a penis or you want to see the cartoon?
This show, penises, like, you just ask somebody and they'll show you their penis. Like that's not hard to see, right?
I don't show my penis to anyone.
Because who's asking? If someone asked you, you'd be like, oh, okay, just for a
I've
second.
had people ask. I've said no.
Oh, okay. All right. So you're rare. I mean, because if you ask my
well,
boyfriend,
wait a minute. When the cop asks you, you're not supposed to say no. They're doing a cross reference.
no. But if you ask my boyfriend, like, could I see your penis? Like, not me. Like, if somebody asked him, he would be like, well, sure.
Yeah, I was just about to say men are weird in that way too, because some of us, I'm with Willis. I the same thing. I've had girls I've had girls say the same thing, like, oh, let me see it. I'm like, I'm not fucking showing you. You know what I mean? Even if you were gonna
That's when
fuck
you don't
that
wanna show
person, it's like, I'm not showing you this. But
Right.
then I'll be standing next to a friend who's just like, oh, what, you want to see my dick? And then they just pull it out like it's Tuesday. You know what I mean? And you're like,
Right.
oh, turtle.
Oh,
Little turtle head.
look at that turtle suit.
Little turtle head poking out. What's your turtle's name?
Penis.
I don't know.
Doesn't have a
Turtle.
name. Turtle.
Doesn't have a
You
name.
got a name
Right,
like
Rebekah.
Raphael.
Did you just get it or?
Yes, we just got it. Yes.
Don't you
Name him
actually talk
Raphael.
about this?
Oh, that's a good one.
Don't you actually talk about this, Rebekah? About you know, like you don't ask a guy, they'll just show you.
No, that's Dante's. That's Dante's joke. Yeah. But yeah, he has a whole bit about that. Like men always want to show their penises no matter what, but no one wants to see them usually.
I don't like showing mine.
Yeah, I'm
I'm
penis shy. Oh yeah, see, look, we both said it simultaneously. I'm the same way. I'm penis shy. Like I'm confident in the size of mine. It's not big and it's not small, but I'm like comfortable, and I'm comfortable with it staying indoors. Like it is quarantined until until it needs to be until it's what do you call it? A necessity. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Putting out like the barbecue.
Yeah.
I feel like I have a small penis, so that's why.
Do you really? You don't feel that way, do you?
I do.
Do you?
I think that's something you're like people are born with, because when my kid was 3, I walked in and he was kind of pulling on, like stretching it. And I'm like, what are you doing? And he said, I'm trying to make it bigger. And that was at 3.
You're like,
Yeah,
you're just like your father.
But that's the thing.
Wow.
We as boys in general, we all think that at a super young age. At a super young age, it's the most interesting thing to us. I don't know how little girls felt about themselves down there, but I know with little boys, it was just, you do that stuff. You stretch it out. You look at it. You're like, what is it? Like you have fun. Even when you go pee, you play games where you're trying to aim at something. And then this whole thing carries over into adulthood. I'm sure there's a psychological thing behind it, but as an adult, some of us grow out of that where we become penis shy. And we go like, I don't want to, I'm going to hide this as best I can. And then some of us are just assholes running around with it. And
I'm gonna show it to everybody.
well, again, I've had those friends that like not only will they show it, but they'll do something stupid where they go, "Hey, look at this," and they push it in between their legs and go, "I'm a girl," and you're just like, "What the fuck, dude? Like, why are you totally comfortable with doing weird shit like that?" But yeah,
And showing.
Well, I'm always
Exactly.
when guys are like that, I'm always like, you realize I'm a guy.
right.
I really probably don't want to see your penis.
But it's the weirdest thing. I don't know. Like it varies from person to person. But yeah,
Right.
but yeah,
My son
that's an interesting thing.
My son got tape stuck on his penis. Like
Okay.
he was almost 5, and he taped it up,
Yeah.
and then tried to pull the tape off, and came in like all I hear is screaming. Get it off! So I went to go help him get the tape off, and he's like, "Don't pull it!"
That's funny.
We threw him in the shower, and this just tell you, I boy girl twins. So my daughter is looking at this whole show, and he's, the hot water took the adhesive off the tape. It came off, and he's like, "Whew, I thought I was going to have to go through my whole life like that." My daughter just looking at him.
Right.
She said, "Girls don't do this."
And they don't.
They don't.
And even into adulthood, when men do something dumb with it, like I don't even know. I can't even think of anything embarrassing right now off the top of my head. But there's always a woman who's standing there going, "You're an idiot. Like, why? Why did you think that was a good idea?" Oh, shit. Okay, manscaping. You do something weird like that, and then you nick it, and you go like, "Oh God, it's bleeding! It's bleeding too much. Why is it bleeding from that spot?" And then you freak out, and then like somebody's just like, "Really? Well, you really thought shaving a lightning bolt was going to be a good idea to begin with? Like now you look stupid with a lightning bolt and a bloody bolt."
I love their faces. Oh,
Yeah,
I
know. Just again,
they both have that look of, what are you doing in the shower? Ace.
men
That's what I wanna
versus
know.
men versus women. This is the part where, remember when Chris Rock did that whole bit about like how like women just, they see their husbands as like kids or something. They're like, "Oh, here, this is my friend's husband. Like he likes baseball too," and they just leave you in a room together as if that's gonna just be cool. And you're like, "What the fuck?" Yeah, because we are kind of that blunt of instruments, I guess. Yeah,
We are.
What do you think
We're
about
not as sophisticated.
Rebecca?
What do I think about all of this?
Manscaping. Yeah.
Manscaping?
Yeah.
I think it depends on what you look like, you know what I mean? On what you have working with. Really.
Oh, I thought you meant like in general. It's just like, oh, well, his property's maintained, but the fucking house looks like shit.
Yeah, my husband manscapes, and I am really glad that he does.
Well, there is that weird, like when you let it go too far too, when people just grow out like a whole fucking ponytail growing down there or some shit, weird Father Time looking crotch or something.
Well, see, I'm not a hairy person, so I'm very, which is weird. Like my hair on top, my hair on here a lot. I have no hair on my chest, and
I'm the same way. I have Native American blood, so I'm just like, I can only grow facial hair. Everywhere else I'm bald. So yeah.
But this is actually 2 weeks of hair growth. Like I haven't shaved in like 2 weeks, maybe 3.
That's how we know you're not Jewish, because that you'd be growing hair all over your back.
You know what makes me mad about that show getting picked up? I've pitched a couple of shows, and none of them. They're like, "Yeah, I don't see it." Yeah, but you see the guy with the big penis. Okay,
right. I can sit here for hours with that argument. It pisses me off, the shit that get greenlit, and not only do they get greenlit, but the sequels do too. And you just go, nobody fucking watched the first one, man.
Sharknado. Sharknado.
Right. Sharknado. I worked for the asylum that did all those Sharknado movies, and they're all super low budget, but people love them internationally. Like no matter what the asylum puts out, people are going to watch. And Sharknado was just like this huge international hit. Sharknado.
Didn't Asylum put out a couple other? What was that? Another horror film? Didn't they put out horror films, right?
Tons, yeah, because I've been in like 20 of them. I did tons of asylum movies, but yeah, they people love bad horror movies. They just get bad idea after bad idea, just gets greenlit all the time.
Well,
I guess the worse the worse it is, the better they love it.
well, then maybe there's a market for my Mr. Handy Hole.
I'm sick and tired of these motherfucking snakes on this motherfucking plane. That was a hit just based on dialogue too.
Right.
Okay, so a man out of Yonkers just went bonkers when he found out his Hawaiian rolls were made in California. Robert Galinsky decided to sue King's Hawaiian for false advertisement. He also has several other lawsuits pending against musical superstar bands such as The Police for not being law enforcement, Bananarama for not actually being bananas, and an unrelated suit for Cocker Spaniels not being Spanish. Well, you get the picture. We reached out to a couple Hawaiians for their take on this, and this was our response.
I wrote this song about an hour before I had massive brain damage, and I'd like to do it for you now. This is a story about the day I died. Body surfing Point Panic and got caught in the tide. Swept 500 miles out to sea. It took the Coast Guard 4 days to find me. Oh, I'm sorry, but I'm sad.
Okay, so in case you're confused by that clip, that was a Hawaiian comedian by the name of Rap Riplinger. I hope I'm saying that right. Who died in the 80s and was I had a billion different Hawaiian videos I was going to go with, and I chose him because when I went down that rabbit hole, it turned out this dude was kind of hysterical because he was an absolute weirdo. And I was
about to say Bruno Mars.
It was I think
Sort of.
they referred to him a lot as the like Hawaiian John Belushi or something like that. And he literally died. He went missing one day and died of like a coke overdose that gave him a stroke, and they found him like 4 days later dead somewhere. But the dude was pretty hysterical, kind of a little bit ahead of his time. And I guess he helped launch a lot of Hawaiian comedy careers and stuff. But I thought it was kind of bizarre because it just lets you know that even though Hawaii is a state, it's its own little country. So if you've never been to Hawaii, it really is kind of a different place. So yes, the Melissa, do you think that this guy, what was his name? Robert Galinsky. Do you think he's got a good lawsuit here? I mean,
he has a bunch of lawsuits. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, he's gonna be on a roll with lawsuits if you think about it. Because he could sue Wonder Bread for not wondering. Yeah,
right. Rye Bread isn't from Rye, New York.
Right.
I don't know.
So
Miracle
dumb.
Whip, not quite the miracle. Like this guy could be busy, and it's just a matter of somebody not filing paperwork in time, and he'll get paid.
I love that he's from Yonkers. It just
No, he's sharp. No, you throw enough lawsuits at something, they'll just be like, oh, okay, hey, they were supposed to respond in time, and because they didn't, they lost or something. So.
Yeah.
Well, what's Hawaiian about Hawaiian rolls then? I mean, why are they called Hawaiian rolls? Maybe they were originally made in Hawaii?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was I think that was the like a recipe or something. And then if I'm not mistaken, the Hawaiian company that make King's Hawaiian
Gardens,
they were originally, I think, from Hawaii and then moved out into the state, into inland.
But then
they're made in Hawaiian Gardens.
There you go. So yeah.
But then he should be suing like Del Taco. for not being like a Mexican food. Is it
For
made
not
by
being
Mexicans? I
not
don't
being
know.
noggles anymore. Oh my God, Taco Bell is still considered Mexican food, which makes me laugh my ass off.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. And no one's suing Taco Bell for not being Mexican food.
Yet.
Yet.
Yeah.
And
Rebekah,
me for being African American and not coming from Africa.
Rebekah,
Yeah.
do you think that it would make it? Did you think being from Hawaii would make it taste different? Anyways, I mean, he didn't seem to have a problem with the flavor before.
If it's the exact same recipe, which they say that it is, in the
Right.
article it said that it started out there and, then they moved here because they could, produce more Hawaiian rolls. This is just a case of people being too bored because of COVID and they have too much free time on their hands. And they're like, how can I make some money? And they're like, oh, Hawaiian rolls, of course. Why didn't I think of this earlier? Because which really, you can sue, if we sat down for a day and thought about it, we could sue so many things if we wanted to, you know what I mean? And this guy, like Melissa said, probably will make money because it's easy to just do that and make someone go away than continue on with this sort of thing.
That's funny. You actually just said something I was about to ask Willis. It was 2020. Do you think this guy was just tapped out financially and looked around his house and went, where can I make a buck? Dude, I need money. I need rent fast.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he did tap out. I need a life other than the life I have.
It's part of working from home. I mean, this dude probably used to fake slipping in a public store or something, and now he's just like, well, I can't be anywhere, they're closed. So
I'm gonna go through my pantry right after this.
Right. Me
Uncle
too.
Ben is not my uncle. Yeah.
Are those baked beans really baked?
Yeah.
Right. Now's the time. People are going to be suing for everything right now because everyone needs money. And I think this is totally a case of that. And who knows? We'll see what happens.
I'm not sure if they ever received a lawsuit, but I noticed M&M's doesn't use the slogan "melts in your mouth, not in your hand" anymore, because those things used to melt in my hand every time.
Right.
Yeah.
I bet you're absolutely right. And that's the only reason, because we all love that slogan and knew it. And I promise someone sued and they were like, well, you got to take it off the bag now.
Guys just go, hey, baby, my penis is like an M&M. It melts in your mouth, not in your hands.
Damn, so we should sue McDonald's for the spam thing and just go like, I'm not loving it. And yeah. So corny. I had to work at it.
That's for members, Ace. You're not a member.
I'm not cool enough.
Special Chinese member.
Special Chinese member. Is that a thing?
I know. That sounds so dirty.
Yeah. It is dirty.
I'll have a Wuhan spam sandwich, please. I'm a special Chinese member.
Right, like I'm pretty sure the
accent.
I'm pretty sure the McRib isn't made from ribs.
What is it? By the way, what is a McRib? Like I've never had.
It's spam covered in barbecue sauce.
Right.
I've never had the courage to try one. They look foul to me.
I would never try one.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, do you eat that? No, you don't eat that.
Mm.
One of your things that you don't eat.
I heard they were like onion or something. Like
they have put onions on it, raw onions.
I don't know.
They try to make it like a real barbecue, like pickles and onions.
Right.
Like,
right.
Yeah, but not real meat.
Right.
Microwave, 45 seconds on high.
Right. It's just science in your mouth. That's all it is. Like there's not any actual ingredients in it whatsoever, but yet it's so good.
It's like
Weird
astronaut
science.
food or something. Yeah.
Right. Like it's not even real. I don't know what it is, but we eat it. I just had McDonald's 2 days ago and I loved every second of it. So there you go.
McDonald's tang of food.
Yeah. Right.
Speaking of weird food, which like remind me of astronauts in that movie, and then I think they had to pee in their suits. Right? Don't they
Martian?
have to,
Martian?
No. Like when they first made astronaut suits, don't they have them designed for them to be able to pee in them or to?
Right.
Or
I mean, they still do, but yeah.
Okay, but like that also happens in wetsuits, right? Like that sort of standard issue that people pee in their wetsuits.
Well, if you're down in the middle of the ocean, yeah.
Right.
I mean, yeah.
So, my brother ate a bunch of asparagus. He lives in Maui. Oh my God. He doesn't watch this, so we're okay. And he said he has to burn his wetsuit.
That's so foul, dude.
That's Nobody
didn't wash it?
said that. Hmm?
He didn't wash it?
No. Asparagus makes your pee smell funny.
But it probably stained, right? Like the smell stained.
Well, it's like farting in the bathtub. It's still, I mean, it still is a thing. Like once it's out of the water, it still smells.
It's out. It's Pandora's box once it's out of the bathtub water. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Again, that you're referencing something.
What you do in your tub is what you do in your tub.
Right. That's no, you know why that's fresh in your head? Because you have kids and they take baths and you were reminded. Whereas an adult, you're like, the last time I did that, I was like 9. And like, yeah. So
thank you for giving me an out.
Yeah. You're welcome. See,
Yeah,
I told you I'm here for you when my abuse is only so far.
Yeah.
Let's all try to sue for money. 2021, everybody. Let's do it.
2021.
Can I sue this guy for this article?
I know, right? What was his name? Hold on. I think I have it on the screen too. Where am I?
Robert Galinsky.
I wrote
No,
this
not
song.
this one. Was that his name? Ben
Yeah,
Hooper.
the guy,
Oh, Robert. Oh, you mean the actual guy that's suing?
guy who's suing.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Robert Galinsky. Yeah. And then this is Ben Hooper who wrote the article. I think this was on shit. I don't know. Oh, but I got to thank Yvonne.
Wouldn't it be funny if it becomes a
for
class
finding this.
action lawsuit and he gets like 50 cents at the end of it? Because like a million people were like, you know what? You're right. And then they have those late night TV commercials from lawyers. Have you been mistakenly eating Hawaiian rolls this whole time?
Totally.
Yeah.
You or someone you
And I've
know
been
been
eating
affected by
Keebler
Hawaiian?
Chips Ahoy, thinking it was Keebler elves making it.
Speaking of bad things you shouldn't eat. Okay. Remember Olestra?
The
Do you remember when Olestra came out and it's supposed to like make your body, it doesn't absorb fat. So it just kind of passes through.
Yes, totally.
They were adding it in chips and they were kind of like, hey, may cause a little abdominal cramping.
Yeah.
And what it actually causes is violent diarrhea.
Right, leakage. I think is what they called it.
Yeah, anal leakage.
Right.
Yeah.
Anal leakage.
Yeah, that's what I want in a chip. So I ate something and I was in the Poconos, like there was miles away from a bathroom and I'm eating this product and I was in trouble. There were some baked chips or something that had Olestra in them. And I'm like, great, I won't absorb the fat. I'm going to be skinny and I'm going to eat these potato chips. So I ate them all. Anyway, I was violently projectile diarrhea, everything. I wrote the company this scathing letter. I'm like, you have understated the problem. Like you have, like, this is not just a little abdominal cramping. This was bad. So I went on.
No, was this a handwritten letter or an email?
Well, this was before. Yeah, this was a typed email, but it was a big old letter. And then at the end of it, I get a response back from the company, and it was Nabisco writes back the nicest thing, and they were like, "Dear Miss Greenberg, we are so sorry for what happened to you. However, we don't make that product." And I'm
you
sure
sent
that
it to the wrong place. Dude.
Totally
They
sent it to
probably
the wrong
sent that
company.
to it was
That's
company
so
wide.
funny.
Who did you send it to?
I sent the letter to Nabisco, and I think it might have been Lay's.
Sure, yes, totally. It was Frito-Lay instead.
Yeah.
She sent.
So I'm outraged.
She sent it to Kellogg's or some shit. Dude.
Right. No, it was Nabisco for sure. But Nabisco didn't make the product, and this was before Karen were a thing.
Did they send you a voucher for free underwear, like to kind of offset everything?
Hold on a second. Were you wearing bikini cut or thong?
I'm sure I threw them out. I was in the car. Like, this was bad.
Oh no!
I'm saying, were you wearing a thong? Were you wearing a bikini?
What is wrong with you?
You wanted to know if it's split in two streams or if it just got caught in one.
See, that's the guy for you. Like, I could be throwing up in the bathroom and my boyfriend would be like, hey, you want to do it when you're done throwing up? Right?
No.
Like, he's throwing up. I'm like, oh, no, get back to me when you're done. A guy is just like, hey, so what kind of underwear are you wearing while you're projectile diarrhea-ing?
I mean, it's just curiosity.
I blanked it out. I got lost. Wait, did you say you wrote the letter or typed it?
When I say wrote, I typed it.
Okay, so you didn't do like a whole Stan letter, like
with a stamp.
You're sitting there with a pen, like just like, dear Nabisco, I will fuck you up.
Right? Yeah. I wanted the visual of a pencil and pen, like pencil and paper writing.
Little magazine letters, little magazine.
And you actually folded up the underwear and put it in the letter with them, just like, this is, you owe me a new pair, and just like, yeah.
I think I had a couple of drinks and I was like, I know, I'm going to write Nabisco and I'm going to tell him what happened to me. And
man.
I mean, it was like a big letter and it was so descriptive and it was really a work of art. And yeah, I'm sure that made like the marketing department.
They still talk about you. Somewhere out there's a show going on right now and they're going, one time this lady wrote us a letter and she pooped her pants. She pooped her pants and was so mad.
Not just pooped her pants, it shaked out of her pants. It ruined projected.
It ruined a perfectly good pair of capris.
It is bad. This is the Poconos, so they don't have street lights in the mountains. You're just driving and like the reflectors pick up your headlights.
Oh God, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
There was nowhere, like, I wasn't getting out.
That's the shit.
God.
That's
so
the
highway. Just shit in the car.
That's the highway. You see aliens and shit, dude.
You just shit in the car. Is that what you're telling us? You shit in your car.
I was starting to have an issue. I had a towel in the car, so I was kind of like.
But you still shit in the car. So you're coming up with other issues. But the point is, you shit in the car.
She was on one of those. She was on one of those highways where they describe, like, people always say every like some Halloween like anniversary they describe a ghost of a woman or something. Like, right. You're talking about one of those shitty pants.
Moaning from the abdominal cramping and the leakage.
So you know what you needed? You needed that toilet in the car seat.
There you go, see?
More unnecessary. Yes, that would have been a good time for that.
Yeah, look it up if you don't believe me. I'll try to work it in on the show. Maybe I'll do it in post. But yeah, it's a toilet for your front seat.
Yeah, I'm sure you were.
Okay,
yeah, you
sorry.
were.
That's more about that. We're not going to be able to hear this, I think.
What's funny was I was going to start editing some stuff out but until you told that story, and I might.
So I saved your little show. Is that what you're saying?
Keep it in. I'm telling you, ratings will shoot up.
Hey.
It will project
out.
This show's going to be the shit. You'll see.
You got to tag Nabisco.
We're going to get a letter. Typed up letter.
Please. Actually, one of the head of marketing is like, hey, we've always wondered what you look like.
McDonald's and Nabisco are both going to yell at us.
Oh man. Okay.
Cool.
Well, and then so by the way, our next episode is going to be a very special episode, so keep an eye out for that. I want to thank my guests this week. Obviously, we have Willis for their professionalism. We call it. We don't say patience. We say professionalism. So Willis Turner, Rebekah, Kochan, and of course my lovely co-host Melissa Greenberg. My name's Ace Guillen, and this has been Cover Stories.